Scottie Barnes has been an all-star caliber player this season, and whether or not he actually makes it depends on how the Raptors do, how they are in the Eastern Conference standings come, the all-star voting time, but this man has been ridiculous. And was he even the best player in the Toronto Raptors game tonight? Probably not. Maybe you could make an argument, but what he's done over the course of the season, and after a win, well, we're feeling good because I know a lot of Raptors fans are looking towards the draft, looking at our draft pick and saying, we shouldn't be winning games. We should bottom out in order to get to that bottom six, or most likely give us the best odds of our draft pick falling in the bottom six so we keep our draft pick going into next year. But frankly, I still feel really good when the Raptors do get a win, and they got a win against the Atlanta Hawks tonight. Our top guys all played really well, and I want to start off with Scottie Barnes because, again, we haven't had a real moment to feel good as Toronto Raptors fans, and this one where we've lost, definitely four straight, a couple games before a win before that. So, 6 of our last 7 or whatever, we turned that ship around against an Atlanta Hawks team that themselves have really been in the dumpster as of late. So not a game that's going to ease my nerves, going to say, hey, this is a TSN turning point in the season or something along those lines. But it is a game that we can watch as Raptors fans and just feel good about. Because, again, as I sort of mentioned, Scottie Barnes in this one, 11 of 14 from the field, 27 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists. Pascal Siakam, 33 points, 12 of 19 shooting, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. And O.G. Anunoby as well, 10 of 13 from the field, 22 points, 5 boards, and some nasty dunks in this one underneath the basket. Driving in, players trying to take charges. It doesn't matter to O.G. Anunoby. And, again, my thought process isn't swayed. I don't watch this game and say, hey, this is a squad that can make a playoff run right now as is, as constructed with our current lineups and all that type of stuff. We beat the Atlanta Hawks, who are not a strong team right now. They have some talented players for sure. Trae Young, DeJounte Murray, right? They have some decent talent on the roster, but they've been really floundering as of late. So, again, this win, how we're playing the Atlanta Hawks in a couple of days, it's not a real indication that everything is turned around from the Toronto Raptors. But we can look at our top guys and see the talent on full display. And O.G. Anunoby, Pascal Siakam get a lot of talk, a lot of discourse this time of year when the Raptors are playing poorly because trade season's coming up, they're unrestricted free agents, all that type of stuff. But again, it's nice to see them play well, not just for the trade value stuff. I like seeing our Toronto Raptors guys, play at another level, but I want to dive a little deeper right now just into Scottie Barnes' performance in this one because his three-point shooting has been on another level this season, and tonight he went 3 of 4 from the three-point line and just looks really confident shooting the ball from behind the arc. Obviously, he's always been an amazing slasher. His percentages around the rim have been great since he's come into the league, but that jump shot, not only the mechanics, but just his confidence, firing it up, whether it's from the midi, whether it's from the three-point line, whether it's catch and shoot, heck, he's taken some off the dribble. Scottie Barnes has really unlocked a part of his game with that three-point shot, and that has really led him to play, again, an all-star caliber season this year. If you look at his stats on the season, Scottie Barnes is averaging close to 20 points per game, and that continues to rise. 9 rebounds, 6 assists, 47% from the field, and 38% from the three-point line, 75% from free throw. I mean, Scottie Barnes has taken a proper step forward, a proper leap up in his third season, and it's only getting better. It's only sort of moving in a direction where the offense is moving in, the ball's in his hands a little bit more often. We've discussed this in the Pascal Siakam extension video. Pascal Siakam, while he still is the number one option generally on most nights, right, tonight, again, had the most shots and 19 shots in this one. Scottie Barnes was second on the list, and then O.G. just slightly behind him, right? Even though Siakam's still getting more touches, Scottie Barnes is creeping up just with the ball in his hands, is facilitating all these types of things, and it's absolutely great to see. Is this an argument that some Raptors fans have been making that, hey, we should take away some more Pascal shots and put in the hands of Scottie Barnes? I don't really know, but we see on a night like this, Pascal and Scottie Barnes are capable of playing together, especially with Scottie Barnes shooting 38% from the field. And again, broke down a video today about Pascal Siakam, the reports that he's potentially getting an extension, and I'm not comparing Scottie Barnes to Kawhi Leonard by any means, but he's a wing guy that jump shot is coming along, especially come next season, right? It's only going to get better, hopefully. Again, I guess Pascal Siakam is a case study where the jump shot can be sporadic over the course of your career, but Scottie Barnes is consistently able to space the floor. Sure, Pascal Siakam's been inconsistent from out there. His jump shot's been wanky this season, but I think these guys can play together. I don't think it's a this or that. It has to be one or the other. I think Scottie Barnes and Pascal Siakam could potentially complement each other. I mean, we saw Pascal Siakam play with an elite wing player and win an NBA championship. Scottie Barnes and Pascal Siakam can complement each other. Now, that's on Darko Rajakovic to make sure the touches are there night in, night out. Things are sort of working. And Masai Ujiri to make sure that if we give Pascal Siakam a big extension, Scottie Barnes is definitely going to be getting a max if this play ends up continuing, he stays healthy and all these types of things, right? The roster has to be constructed in such a way it makes sense to build around these two if we are going in that direction and the Raptors aren't able to get trade value for Pascal and stuff like that. But nights like this show it's not a completely hopeless, completely just this would never work sort of pairing between Scottie Barnes and Pascal Siakam. And Scottie Barnes will probably emerge as that 1A sooner rather than later, probably as the season goes along. I mean, just the level of performance he's been playing. Again, Pascal was absolutely ridiculous in this one. Again, showing that we shouldn't trade him for pennies on the dollar, give him the extension, and then figure it out in the future. 33.7 rebounds, 7 assists. OG was there. Still some questions off the bench. Gary Trent Jr. did seem to have a better night tonight. Hit 4 threes, which is really good to see. Looked a lot more confident just firing up that shot. But again, he's making his drives. He really struggles finishing around the basket. And that's tough, right? He used to have this kind of floater game that he was kind of making. But right now, he's going up with these extremely soft takes, which is really hindering his ability to be an all-around scorer. But at least he was confident in his three-point shots in this one. No big other stat lines for the rest of the team. Flynn wasn't hitting his shots in this one. Didn't think he played it. Yeah, 8 assists for Malachi Flynn. I thought he wasn't a negative out there when he was on the court. Defensively was kind of getting cooked by the guards of the Atlanta Hawks. Precious Achiuwa had a couple bad turnovers, but had 7 points, 7 rebounds at least. Boucher, not a memorable game by him by any means, but even the starters, again, Pirtles, tops in the league in field goal percentage, knocked down some free throws, which is exciting as well. Obviously, the biggest sort of hole in Jakob Poeltl's game is the jump shot and the free throw shooting late in these games. Struggles sort of to be on the court because they can go hack a Poeltl, but he made his free throws down the stretch in this one. Shooter, again, 17 points, 11 shots. This is kind of the game we hope to see from Dennis Schroeder. Had a couple weird turnovers, but 17 and 7. 3 rebounds, playing pretty solid defense. Again, Trae Young and DeJounte Murray, they're tough matchups to go up against. Murray had some nice floaters, didn't make any threes, but Trae Young, 35 points and 17 assists. My goodness gracious. But, it is what it is. He's a good basketball player. Dennis Schroeder, I was pretty happy with the points. I was really happy with the starters, especially. I was happy that Gary was getting consistent shots. Again, Scottie Barnes continues to excite me for the future of this Raptors basketball team. I'm not sold that the roster is sort of magically fixed after a win against the Hawks. Even if we win against the Hawks later, I think there are still serious sort of things that need to be addressed with this team and how things are rolling. But again, if we can win some more games, get some more momentum, I know the tankathon is one thing people are watching, and beating the Atlanta Hawks sort of hurts our chances of getting into the bottom 6. But personally, unless we trade away OG and Pascal Siakam, obviously Scottie and even Scottie Barnes on the court, we're going to win games like this. I don't think there's a world where we're really going to be in a good position where we have high probability of keeping our draft pick. I just don't think it's going to happen. So this season, unless things, we'll monitor it more so during March. We'll get the Kazoos playing, get some tank stuff going. But personally, I'm still rooting for the Raptors to win these games. I'm still, even when we're tanking, I'm still rooting for the Raptors to win the specific games. It's against my nature to not to, but I don't know. The Raptors, nice to see them get a nice W. Hopefully it's a momentum swinger. We'll see if it actually is. You guys are the best to make it far. Subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. I'm signing out. Cheers.